Hello everyone, welcome to another Python tutorial series, and in this video I'm going to talk about list comprehension. So we all know what a list in Python is. A list in Python is a variable type that can store multiple items. So let's see an example. I'll have a numbers list, and inside I'll have some numbers 2, 6, 1, 8, and 5. And here the numbers list has 5 elements in it that are all numbers. Now, if we want to double each element in the list and put it into a new list, what would we do? Now, if we don't know list comprehension, we could use a for loop to do this. So I'll have a new list like this. And for x in numbers, a new list dot append x times 2. So for every value or every element inside this numbers list, I'm adding it into this new list, but multiplying by 2 at the same time. So now if I print the result, I can print our new list and save and run this. You'll notice that every single value is now doubled. But there's another way to do this without using a for loop. Instead, we could just use one line of code, and that is list comprehension. So list comprehension in Python is an easy and compact syntax for creating a list from an iterable that includes a string, tuple, or another list. So let's apply list comprehension to this problem. I'll comment out the for loop right now. So let me comment this out. And instead of this new list, I'm going to write x times 2 for x in numbers. Now when I run this, I should get the exact same result, and that is all the numbers are doubled in the new list. So instead of using 3 lines of code using the for loop, we only need 1 line here. Now the syntax for list comprehension without a condition is basically expression for item in iterable. Now where iterable refers to lists, tuples, and strings. For example, this expression is x times 2. So for every single x element inside of this numbers list, I am doubling it, so multiplying it by 2. So we can also add a condition where we operate the iterables. For example, we only want to double the numbers in a list when it is greater than or equal to 3 and put it in a new list. What do we do? So first we can see how to do this with the for loop. I'm going to comment out the list comprehension part. New list is equal to empty list. And if we use a for loop, all I need to do is add in an if statement. So if x is greater than or equal to 3, then I want to append x times 2 into this new list. And if I print this list out, you notice that I have 16 or 12, 16, and 10, because 6, 8, and 5 are greater than or equal to 3. So that condition is met. Now, excluding the original list in the print command, we needed 4 lines of code to do this. Now, how do we do this with list comprehension? That is, list comprehension with conditions. So the syntax for list comprehension with a condition is basically expression for item in iterable if condition is equal to true. So let's apply this to our example. First, we can comment out our for loop, and we can uncomment the list comprehension line. So I have this original expression without the condition. Now let's add in our condition. So x times 2 for x in numbers, and then our condition will be if x is greater than or equal to 3. So if I save and run this code, now the exact same result is shown. But instead of 4 lines of code, when we use a for loop, we only need 1 line, which is much shorter and very concise. Now we can also use list comprehension for the range function, since range in Python is also an iterable. So let's see an example. We could delete all the code first and start all over. So I'll delete that. And let's say we want to make a list that holds a square of integers from 1 to 9. Now without using list comprehension, the code would look like this. So I'll have an empty list. For x in range 1 to 10, list dot append x to the power of 2. And then I could print the list. So what this does is that it squares every single value from 1 to 9. Now if we decided to do this with list comprehension, we could use only one line. I'll comment this out. And just like before, I'll write for x in range 1 to 10. And then for every single x value, I want to square it. So x to the power of 2. And so if I run this, now the same result is printed. So far the operations were all for numbers in a list, but we can also use string elements with list comprehension. For example, let's say I saved 3 images for a game in a list. Let me delete all this. I can have my images equal to image1.png, image2.png, and image3.png. See, so these images are going to be in an assets folder, and to use the images in my game, I'll need to include the folder name assets for each of the images. So the image file will be like assets, then image1.png. That is, I'll need to add the folder name ahead of each image name. And to do this, we can use a for loop. So I'll have new images, and for x in images, new images append assets plus x. And if I print out the new images, now I basically added assets to the beginning of each image, and now the path is complete. Now in this case, 3 lines were used with the for loop, but let's see how we could use list comprehension to do this. So in our new list, I'll set assets plus x, so that's how we're manipulating x, for x in images. So for every element in images, I just want to add assets in front of it. And so here I only need one line of code, and when I run, I have the same result. So list comprehension is generally more compact and faster than normal functions and loops for creating lists. However, we should avoid writing very long list comprehensions in one line to ensure that code is user-friendly. Also, we need to keep in mind that every list comprehension can be rewritten in a for loop, but not every for loop can be rewritten in the form of list comprehension. So this is the end of this video. If you have any comments, please put them below in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.